So guys, welcome to Chautauqua. This is where I got to stay for the week, and it's kind of a neat community. As you can see, it's a gated community, so you have to have your little gate pass to be able to come in. Here, let me get out of the road so people aren't running me off the road. And so it's kind of a gated community where you have to get your little gate pass to come in. But it's kind of a neat place. There's all sorts of different churches, all sorts of different other things here. And it was originally a community set up for like Sunday school teachers so they can learn a little more about different things. And it's kind of evolved into this ecumenical institute where all these different denominations get to gather together to talk about things. Plus there's a music school, there's a dance school, and there's a whole bunch of other activities here that is just kind of this cultural getaway. So it's kind of a neat place, and so I decided, since you guys, I always said, I'm going to Chautauqua, and you said, you're going where? That maybe I should make you a little video to say, kind of, this is what this place is about. And so I'm going to take you guys on a little bit of a tour around kind of what the stuff's going on here. So I think we'll see what the next stop is. Good. All right, and guys, this is the Catholic house, which is where I got to stay all week. If you take a look around at the house, I was here like about 8 years ago, and it's kind of cool what they did. The house used to be, you see the steps here? This used to be where the floor was. They took the whole house and lifted it up like about that much off the ground, and then put a whole bunch of rooms underneath. So it's kind of neat. There's a bunch of other people staying in the house this week. Last time I was here, it was just me and the two priests. So it's kind of neat to get a chance to come back here and stay here for the week. And this is one of our denominational houses. And the rest of the video, I'll show you some of the other ones. Each of the different church groups have their own house here, so that there's kind of a dialogue, and we can all sit on the porch and talk to each other about different things that are going on and what we think about it. So it's kind of a neat thing. Okay, so let's take a little trip upstairs here and show you guys what the rooms here look like. Let's head upstairs here. And here's the room where I'm staying in. Nice little room. You can see just enough room for a little bed, a little side chair. But the best part about these rooms is I walk over, open the door, and walk out onto the porch. You can see the porch. And the best part, I could sit right here in my rocking chair. And yes, that is what you think it is. If you look clear out there, that's the amphitheater, and that's Clint Black singing. Can't quite get him into focus, but I can see him from right here. That's him on the stage. You see if there's a light switch here. Then as we're walking by here, this is the Disciples of Christ house, where very often a number of Catholics also stay. There's no real relationship between which denominational house it is and which group stays there. And the Baptist house. Episcopal house. And Lutheran house. And then this impressive structure here is the main building for the United Church of Christ denominational house. They're one of the older groups here, so they have a number of houses here, this being their main. And over here we have Presbyterian house. And here we have Methodist house. This is where each week the two chaplains, which I was one of them, do their weekly lecture. For this week the topic was the economy, so I got to talk a little bit about that. And Monsignor Sullivan also got to give his talk on some of the things we bring to our Catholic faith from other places and some of the origins of our Catholic traditions. So, this is the Methodist house.
Practices and ideas, and in that sense, turn them around so they would be able to express something unique to Jewish faith. And so on your sheets.
And this is the Hall of Christ as opposed to the Hall of Philosophy across the road. And this is one of the two places where we have our Sunday Masses. Sunday morning is in here. It's locked up right now, so I can't show you the inside. But and this impressive structure ahead of us is the Hall of Philosophy. Let's go up and take a look at the Hall of Philosophy. You can see it's modeled after the Greek Parthenon. It is rather an impressive structure. You can see the nice oil lamps at the bottom. They do light those on special occasions. It's also where we celebrate Sunday Mass. And this is a picture from the front of the Chapel of the Good Shepherd where we have daily Mass. And let's go ahead and go inside. This is the Chapel of the Good Shepherd where we have Mass. You can notice both flags. Both the Episcopalians and the Catholics have Mass here. One of the neat things with this chapel is a couple of the windows. First of all, we have this window up top of Christ the Good Shepherd, name of the chapel. But over here, these are rather interesting. We have first Bishop Charles Henry Brent, Lewis Miller, who helped found the Institute, Pope John the 23rd, Patriarch Athanagorius I, King David, St. Francis, Florence Nightingale, David Pendleton O'Cater, the Reverend Florence Lee Tim Oy, and one of the most remarkable, I've never seen a church with a stained glass window of someone still alive, the Archbishop Desmond Tutu from South Africa. One of the neat things, as I come into the sacristy, there is a nice little plaque on the wall here saying thank you from Archbishop Tutu. And here we have Bester Plaza with the four corners of the Chautauqua institution and their pillar. First we have music, knowledge, art, and religion. Let me just show you a little bit more of Bester Plaza. Today they are having an art show, which I think is almost a weekly affair. So you'll see there's the library. You'll see the booths for the art show. Art show's on the other side of the street. And the Colonnade main building. And let's take a look at some other things around here. And I had to include this for a Mr. Chris Kirkpatrick. These are the benches that had been here, and they're everywhere throughout the Institute, as you can see. In Miller Park, and it seems as if they are slowly replacing them with memorialized benches. Another thing I find incredibly impressive about this place is just some of the architecture. And here you can see some more of the gorgeous architecture from the early part of the century, with these all have enormous front porches. And when we talk about porches, it's hard to imagine not mentioning the Athenaeum Hotel. which, by the way, it's incredible to see just the sheer number of bicycles everywhere, and people just walking, something we don't see every day. And there. Now you can get a nice good look at the front of the Athenaeum, and note the giant front porch on the front. And of course, Chautauqua also has, being on the lake, quite the marina. And this is just one of dozens of docks all up and down the coast. And there we can even hear the Miller Bell Tower. We'll go over to see that in a little while. And now I'm over at the Miller Bell Tower. We can see the giant bell tower standing up there. Next to it is the building used for the college club. See if I can get a better picture of the bell tower. There's the bell tower that kind of defines Chautauqua out on the pier, named after Miller, one of the founders of the place. And we can see from here there is a gorgeous view of the entire lake. As I come around, you can see the bell tower again in the background. Let me walk out on the pier a little bit here so you can get kind of a view of the whole place. You can see how gorgeous the entire lake is. All the way from clear up to the north. You can see some of the marinas there in the background. The bell tower. And it goes clear around. It's an enormous sized lake. Though you can't see the horizon. You can see all the sailboats. Sailing is such a big part of what goes on here, as it is, I'm sure, in any lake town, but it's yet another part of the culture here. And here we have what's known as Palestine Park. You can see a little diagram here. This is basically a model of the Holy Land, made in the geography of the land right here near the lake. And let's hop across the River Jordan. And I believe Jerusalem is down here. There's Jericho. And you can see how it would have been defended by the sea. Here we go. You can see how much larger Jerusalem is than everything else. There's the Mount of Olives. And you can see where the Holy Land would have looked like, basically, standing at Jerusalem. You can see way up on the hill the big mountain that would have been Mount Sinai. And here you can see the amphitheater, which seats about 5,000. As we look down in. Can't go in right now, they're getting ready for a concert, but I'm hoping you're able to see over there the organ, or pieces of it. I'll get another shot from the other side, but it is the world's largest outdoor organ, which is one of Chautauqua's claims to fame. And here's Smith Wilkes Hall, home of the Bird, Tree, and Garden Club of Chautauqua. A lot of the naturalist stuff happens here, as well as the environmental conservation, things like that. You can see kind of what it looks like in here. It's nice, another nice little amphitheater. Kind of a mini version of the amp. And this is Alumni Hall.
For example, the action of Jesus in coming into Jerusalem on a donkey.
Where the Literary Society meets. And then here we have the Hall of Missions, which this enormous, impressive building is where the institutional speakers stay during the week. And tonight it looks like at Catholic House we're going to have a nice dinner. Mostly cooking all the leftovers left for the week.